You were the smart kid in high school. You were pretty smart. You got into a pretty decent school, yet now you're struggling to land a software engineering job. Well, I've been in your shoes. It's brutal. You feel like you're smart, then you get to college, you even get towards the end of college, and it's just so hard to get a software engineering offer. Well, I've thankfully come out on the other side of that, and I ended up getting offers from Amazon and Google. These were new grad software engineering offers, as you can see over here. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the one hack, so to speak, like the one really flip the switch for me that allowed me to start getting more interviews. And so I know what you're doing right now. You're just applying on this classic GitHub repo, which has, the new grad positions, Coder Quad, and Simplify. And let's be real, it's not working. You're mass applying on here, maybe trying to get a referral whenever possible, but let's be real, referrals are not even that effective anymore. And you're just struggling to get an offer. You're barely even getting any interviews. And so in this video, I'm gonna really go over the one thing that kind of changed everything for me. Because if you're not getting interviews right now, even though you were smart in high school, I can guarantee it has nothing to do with your intelligence. You're plenty smart. The reason you're not getting interviews is because you haven't figured out how to play the recruiting game. There's actually a game of recruiting. There's a bunch of tiny tips and hacks that you have to apply. I figured them out the hard way. It was an absolute grind to get these offers from Amazon and Google. It was an absolute pain to figure them out, and I just want to share them with you in this video so you can start getting some more interviews and offers, because let's face it, you're pretty smart and you deserve better than what you've gotten so far in the application process. And so what is it? Has to do with the resume. And before you click off this video and say that, I've tried to optimize my resume before, I've tried so many times, maybe you got people to look at your resume and they were like, oh, your resume is fine. Look, I hate to break it to you, if you're not getting interviews, your resume is not fine. Because if your resume was actually fine, you would have an offer by now. I can confidently say that. And so in this video, I'm gonna go over kind of like the 3 most important tips and tricks that you really need to apply on your resume to get more interviews. And it's literally going to be the same stuff that got me into Amazon and Google. So let's just get started. The number one most important thing that you need to do is fix the titles on your resume. I actually review hundreds of resumes every single week for various students and engineers. And the biggest mistake that I see people making has to do with the titles on their resume. They'll put titles like full stack developer, research intern, or research assistant, some kind of volunteering position, back-end developer, full stack developer, all this nonsense. That's a huge, huge mistake. Do yourself a favor right now. Go to your resume and just change every single title to just say software engineer, software engineer, software engineer. That's all you need to do, and I promise you're going to start to get more interviews. And there's a couple of different reasons for that. There's 2 reasons. One is ATS. So ATS specifically scans your resume for certain titles. So if you're applying for a software engineering job, which you probably are, like the job posting is going to say software engineering, but your titles on your resume say stuff like full stack developer, back-end developer, research intern, research assistant, then the ATS is going to think that you have no experience as a software engineer, which I know sounds insane. That's ridiculous, right? ATS should be smart enough, ideally, to recognize that full stack development literally falls under software engineering, right? But for some reason, it's not. And so if you make this change, I promise you will get more interviews. Go to your resume right now and just change all the titles to say software engineer. I don't care if that wasn't your official title. It's chill. No one's going to go and try to verify and cross-check your exact titles, even if it wasn't software engineer. Just change everything to software engineer and you will get more interviews. And there's a second reason why this matters, and this one's honestly even more important than the first. And I've talked to recruiters at Amazon and Google about this, and they have confirmed this for me. And basically, it has to do with consistency. Remember, recruiters don't actually read every single line of your resume. They're skimming that shit for like 5 to 10 seconds to decide whether or not to give you an interview. And so in that 5 to 10 seconds, the biggest thing that they're looking for is consistency. They want to see a consistent work history that just shows that you're a good fit for the role. But in the eyes of a recruiter, if they're evaluating you for a software engineering role and they see full stack developer, research intern, back-end developer, whatever, they're going to think that your experience is kind of scattered. It's all over the place, and it doesn't actually seem like a good fit for a software engineering role because they see all these different titles. I know that sounds insane because recruiters ideally should be smart enough to realize that it's all the same thing: full stack developer, backend developer, whatever. It's all the same thing. You're still a software engineer. But recruiters actually prefer if all your titles down the page just say SWE software engineer, SWE software engineer, SWE software engineer. They actually prefer that because it's so much more skimmable and it just makes your resume look more clean and cohesive. So just do yourself a favor and make that one change right now. That's honestly one of the biggest things that allowed me to start getting big tech interviews. I know it sounds so simple, like how could something that small be making a difference? But trust me, just make that change and thank me later. Next, the technical skills section. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. You do need to actually kind of fluff up this section with some keywords. I know that's kind of controversial. A lot of other, creators on YouTube are going to be afraid to tell you that, saying that, oh, you got to be 100% honest. Oh, you don't put anything on your resume that you're not 100% confident on. Dude, I'm just going to keep it real with you and give you the advice that you need to hear. The same strategies that got me interviews at Amazon and Google. If you want to get more interviews, it's okay to kind of fluff up your technical skills section and add more tools and technologies that you're not 100% familiar with. That's fine. It's completely okay. Once you do get an interview, then you can kind of cram and kind of like make sure you're familiar with everything on your resume. But dude, if you're not even getting interviews right now, stop worrying about that and just add some more keywords to your resume. It will help. Whether we like it or not, companies do use various scanning algorithms to check for certain keywords on your resume. You need to have them on there. And the one disclaimer I'm going to give you is if you're not familiar with anything at all, like if you've never even heard of it, then obviously don't add it to your resume because that could backfire. But as long as you're somewhat familiar with it, I give you permission to just say screw it and add it to your resume. And so there's one third and final thing that I want to go over, and it has to do with the straight up meat, like the actual bread and butter of your resume, which is the actual bullet points that you have on your resume, like the actual bullet points that describe what you did at each of these experiences that you have on your resume. And the biggest piece of advice that I can give you there has to do with, surprise, surprise, metrics and quantitative impact. I know that sounds obvious. You've probably heard that advice before. Stuff like improving search accuracy by 20%, improving system throughput by 30%. I know you've heard of this before, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say that you probably don't actually have quantitative impact and metrics in most of the bullet points on your resume. And the reason you don't have it there is because you're probably a little bit nervous, like, oh, what if someone asks for proof? I don't actually know the exact metrics and quantitative impact of my previous work, so I can't put that on my resume. That's probably what's going through your head right now. But once again, I'm going to shatter one of your beliefs. It's okay to just come up with a rough estimate and put it on your resume, even if you don't have the exact proof. Again, just being completely honest with you, based on the same strategies that literally got me $200,000 job offers from Amazon and Google. You don't need to have exact proof of these metrics. A rough, educated guess is completely fine. Right here on this resume, improve system throughput by 30%. Maybe it was the exact percentage was 25%. Maybe the exact percentage was 35%. But I know it was roughly in that ballpark, so I just estimated it, took an educated guess, and put it on there. It's completely fine. As long as you can more or less defend it and talk about it, if you get asked in an interview, that's fine. They're not going to ask you for proof about the exact percentage. It's okay to kind of embellish that a little bit. Again, a lot of other people on YouTube are afraid to tell you that, but I'm just going to be honest with you and give you the strategies you need to get offers from big tech companies. Because I know you clicked on this video because you were smart in high school and you're struggling to get interviews right now, and I genuinely just want better for you. You should be getting better interviews and offers right now because you're freaking smart. You're smart and talented. You did well in high school. And the reason that you're not doing well in the recruiting process right now has nothing to do with your intelligence. And it just has to do with the fact that you don't know how the recruiting game is actually played. And so I have one more important video that I want to share with you. Again, don't click off the video now. This part's super important. There's a video that's going to pop up on the screen. YouTube's going to put it up on the screen somewhere now. And it's one more strategy that is probably the biggest unlock in the recruiting process. The biggest unlock, I'm not going to say what it is. You got to click this video to find out. It's going to pop up soon. But it's not your resume. And it was the number one strategy that allowed me to get interviews at big tech companies. And I want you to just steal that strategy, copy it, and implement it for yourself as well. So click that video soon, and I will see you there.